Basically, this is how the abridged version looks before you actually get to the whole 156. This is the highlights of the report, the Building Bridges Initiative Task Force. And if we just drop the tag a bit so that you can see highlight of the report of the Building Bridges Initiative Task Force. There you go. And you have also there the table of contents, as I read before, lack of national ethos. This is what Hamid Ashi was talking about. Responsibility and rights, ethnic antagonism and competition, divisive elections, inclusivity, shared prosperity, corruption, devolution, safety and security, where we shall also navigate on this morning. Commissions and cross-cutting issues, and also notable issues. Some of security issues have been raised also in the notable issues. We want to go straight to safety and safety and security. And from your pickings, if you've gone through this particular document, the abridged version, General, what are your thoughts about security and safety?
Let me pick this from the functions of government. That in the first place, the function of government is to provide the protection, safety, and security of its citizenry.
Yes.
That is the key primary responsibility. But this concept has been misunderstood, in the sense that we look at that as both military and the police. It is beyond that. And I'm happy to have captured this as human security. We go beyond everything we do is security. From West Pokot, from ethnicity, from the economy, from corruption, all that digs into security. And therefore, when we give away our rights to the government and tell them rule us, we expect in the first place they provide what I cannot get individually myself. And therefore, this becomes very key.
All right. So
now, very good paper.
Yes.
On this in the BBI on security. Very good coverage and very impressive. Unfortunately, however, Kenyans have all along felt insecure. Very unfortunate. And they have captured very good points, almost about 19 points on key issues to be looked at. And I hope, again, these issues will get that due attention. A number of the things mentioned here have been done for small scale.
Yes.
But not
Can we just go blow by blow? Because I think we have all the time. There are 19 points. If you may cover, we have Kenyans told the task force that they do not feel sufficiently safe and secure.
Yes.
From those who represented victims of terrorism to others victimized by domestic terrorism, mistreatment at the hands of security personnel and lack of trust in policing, millions of Kenyans do not feel as secure as they should. As a result, the task force observes with great concern that we will struggle to become a truly united and prosperous country if we do not have a security system that is responsive to the needs and rights of citizens and that is trusted and embraced by them. Besides threats from criminals and security agents, Kenyans also feel insecure from ethnically instigated civil strife, severe weather events, natural and man-made disasters, and aggressive external militia. And then we go full steam ahead to say that towards safety and security, the task force wishes to state the following: all Kenyans' lives matter. The value of every Kenyan life is the same across every part of the country, and every death must be treated with equal seriousness. Yes. Right, General, you want to comment on that?
Yes. Again, covering what we had said earlier, that security matters, and across the spectrum, in terms of security, every aspect does matter, from poverty to landslides, and the government action to overcome or address those issues become very important. So that is the first part in terms of lives matter. Now, secondly, which is very important, and this came out very well, the issue of human security. It's actually in the second bullet.
Yes, so the difference between human and national security, recognizing that security is for the protection of citizens, we need to move our thinking from national security to human security. To do so, our security policies and strategies must be developed after consultation with all Kenyans and must take into account their views on their own safety. Yeah, we can continue, or let's hear from Dr. Hassan Kanenje. Then also we'll come back to you, General, with the second one. Let's just continue with the first one. Yes.
Well, I think we were on point number 2. We don't need to move away from national security to human security. They're not mutually exclusive. We can incorporate human security and national security because national security is indispensable, and human security of a country is part of the national security strategy. So It's not that we're going to leave this.
So, but we need to define it. What
No,
is national
no,
security
no.
and human security? Because now they're saying
Because-
here we need to move our thinking, sort of a paradigm shift from national security to human security. For a layman Kenyan right now, what would that mean?
You know, human security encompasses all other aspects. In fact, a lot of conflicts we face within is actually the absence of human security with regard to providing citizens with sometimes basic things, you know, from health, from, you know, basic welfare, name it, sanitation. We've not been paying attention to that. But that does not mean we need to move away from national security, because that would be suicide. No country can exist, you know, without that. In fact, human security for a country is supposed to be part of the national security strategy, because when people, let's say, are poor, don't have health, don't have homes, they can actually be very vulnerable to violence, or at least radicalization, or even you know, civil war or civil strife within a country. So I want to believe this was language, because it becomes very apparent with regard to the way some wording has been done here. You know, English is a foreign language, and so we can understand that. But no, we don't have to move away. However, recognizing the importance of that is very important. Now, the challenge I have, though, with this, most of the provisions here, especially on the safety and security, is lack of specificities. And so while ambiguity is fodder for politicians, because then they can exploit it and put what they want, it becomes dangerous, especially for average citizens who might not really have that voice in changing the whole thing. You know, I think we all know what happened through the Bomas draft in Naivasha and Kilifi, you know, because ultimately the politicians actually held sway, and we know what politicians have taken us. And so I just wish we were a little bit more specific. However, there are very important, you know, aspects that have been discussed already, being, I would say, the kind of hot trends, kind of aspirational, you know, ideas. But lacking specificity is going to make it very difficult. Of course, it's a very safe document, so to speak, so it's not really ruffling feathers of anybody, and perhaps to increase the likelihood of it at least being discussed, not being dismissed, especially in a country where you have professional oppositionists, you know, who oppose everything. Yeah, so it's a very safe document, but I think we should have gone further. Now, to the, you know, the first point that you mentioned, all Kenyan lives matter. It reminds me of the Black Lives Matter in the United States.
Yes. Yes.
All Kenyan lives matter, but you know, let's face it. You know, all factors remaining constant, someone from Loimo Mathare is not going to get the equal treatment. We can say that for 1,000 years. You know, it almost never does, unless we deliberately put in place structures that, first of all, remove the structural violence that exists in those places, you know, to start with. Okay. And number two, that we include that as part of our legal framework that requires, for instance, how many police stations are supposed to be here. When it comes to people who are poor and they're seeking justice, who's going to represent them? Is there someone? You know, so if you don't have that, they're not going to have equal access, you know, before to the law and to the judicial, rather the justice system. So we have to move beyond rhetoric to reality.